Whoa, whoa, whoa. We are back after a long hiatus of whatever virus took over my household and holiday break and work traveling. I'm Jim, that's Dan. Botch Wrestling Podcast episode feels like 1,000 at this point, but we're probably close to at least 100 something, or maybe. But it's been a while, Dan. Um, Thinking back, I think the last time we did one was right before the Damian Priest and Aleister Black ambulance match.
Yeah, the week before, I think. Yep.
I think that's
That's right.
so. Um, yeah, that's been a while. There's been a lot that's gone on. Um, I'm looking at this. I don't know if this is correct, but I'm double checking it right now. Um, Supposedly, if this is correct from the research I've done, there's only been 6 ambulance matches in WWE history.
Really?
Supposedly, that's what I've looked up. That seems. So what? Does the Undertaker have 5 of them, and Damian Priest and Aleister Black have the 6th one? Is that what we're like? Because I know, because Undertaker has a few, right?
I'm going into the list I'm looking at.
How? What's the list do you have?
If this is if this is correct,
6.
Survivor Series 2003, Kane versus Shane McMahon.
Okay.
Elimination Chamber 2012, Kane versus John Cena.
I do not remember that, but okay.
No, I don't remember either of them. Actually,
I kind of remember the Kane versus Shane one because I was a big Shane fan. Because that was the first one
yeah,
ever, right?
yeah. Well, if this list is accurate, yes, it's the first one listed. Raw 2015, Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt.
That one I remember because that was during a very bad period of Raw.
Great Balls of Fire 2017, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
And Strowman won that one.
Clash of Champions 2020, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. I remember that one. Um,
And then
and then NXT Halloween Havoc 2022, Damien Kemp versus Julius Creed.
yeah, so there was 6 before this, so Damian Priest and Aleister Black would be the
Now
seventh then.
this, yeah, I mean, this post is from a year ago, but like,
That's crazy.
I don't,
That is crazy. Um,
yeah, I don't, that's crazy.
Quite a
I
collection,
can't
huh?
believe that's it.
Right. I feel now. I almost feel like I'm not a good Undertaker fan because I could have sworn that the Undertaker was in one of these. Maybe he used an ambulance, but it wasn't a so-called ambulance match. But I for sure thought the Undertaker had 2 or 3 of these. Like that just seems like it was his gimmick back in the day when he was the Dark Angel of Death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, whatculture.com has an article that also like has a little footnote that says don't get them confused with the stretcher matches where like a stretcher from an ambulance is used.
all right, good.
So
Now
you
we're
know,
just pulling particulars at this point. Awesome.
right now, but this article, which is from still it's from 2017, but it's ranking every ambulance match in wrestling history, and there's only 10. So as of again 2017, as of 2017 to date, wrestling has produced 10 ambulance matches. Now, I assume they're only like counting, WCW, WWE, like, like the first, like number 10 is a WCW Nitro match, and so is number 9, and like, you know, so, obviously, I'm sure there's smaller promotions that have done it, maybe. I don't know. Very interesting, though. if there's only 10 between the two like major companies in general.
Yeah.
The Randy didn't the Randy Orton one, Drew and Randy, didn't have a bunch of like legends come in to help? Wasn't that when like Randy was like going after some legends and stuff too? That's what I feel like I remember of that one. Like they showed up to help almost.
Um, I remember like in the Clash of Champions match.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember Randy in that scenario, but it was a lumberjack match back in the day.
Oh yeah, no. So here it is. The ghosts of kicked skulls past came back to haunt Randy Orton and cost him a chance to win his 14th world title against Drew McIntyre. Big Show, Christian, Shawn Michaels, and Ric Flair, all the victims of the Viper in recent months, left their mark in a barbaric ambulance match won by McIntyre. That's what I remember. Like these guys just kept showing up during it. Um, as like a little bit of payback. I remembered that specifically. It was during COVID, so it was during Thunderdome or whatever the heck it was called time. Like with the screens, the crowd on the screens.
Well, the good news now is it only takes $500-600 to Ric Flair to haunt you through a cameo appearance.
That's
So,
true too.
yeah, that's crazy. But I can't believe it's been that long. It feels longer, but that would make sense. That's the last time we sat down and talked some wrestling. Um, I guess, and then they've been on their Germany tour, right? From Dusseldorf, and then they're going to Ireland next week because, spoilers, Finn and Punk are having a match for the title. But overall, there's a couple headlines. First off, if you've been following the WWE ID program or anything with NXT, Keanu Carver, Eli Knight, and the Vanity Project have all signed with WWE NXT. So that's pretty cool. They're getting some fresh blood in there. Obviously, Lash London has got the bump, and she's been kind of like Naya's protege for a bit. Her sidekick, which I think she's 1,000 times better in the ring than Naya. So I think they're gonna eventually run into that problem of like, what are we doing? Um, Surprisingly, Dakita Lyon's not called up yet. Surprisingly, Ricky Stark's not called up yet. I thought for sure that'd only be 6 to 8 months, and Ricky would be on at least doing both shows. He's not. I wonder if they're saving that for the Rumble. Um, but Trick has been called up on the past SmackDown that we've had. We saw an interaction between Randy and Trick that we can talk about, and then Oba defends the title and drops it on the press bench or the commentator bench. So that signifies the monster is going to be up soon. Um, Kind of feels like we're in like the free agent period of wrestling, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
Do you know what I'm
changes
saying?
coming to the rosters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it doesn't appear that they're doing any type of draft or anything. It's just going to be flat out. Hey, these are the people that we signed. These are the people that are getting the bump. Um, how do you feel about that? Do you miss the draft?
Um. No, I don't. I mean, I just don't love the brand split at all. And I know it's a lot less of a split now, but they kind of keep it like a split. So I just don't like it. So like I don't miss the draft because I feel like every time they do a draft or a superstar shakeup or whatever they call it that year, they get a little more hard coded to the split for a while, and then they gray the lines again after a little bit. And I never liked that. I don't know. I just don't like the split in general. I get why they do it, but it's just not what I would do.
Um, I kind of miss it. I I feel like it adds a different element to the show. Like obviously we don't believe these wrestlers are getting drafted right there while they're on stage, right? Like that's kind of
Right.
like we understand this isn't like the NFL or NBA or the NFL draft. Like we realize that, but it gave it a different element. And to be honest, like in the past when they had it in the video games, I've always thought it was like a cool thing in the video game as well, because then like you can like it helps to screw around with the roster. I think a big issue they ran into, like you talked about, was like hard coding these people to stay on Raw or stay on SmackDown. I think there's a way for them to do the draft, but still have the flexibility to say, okay, if you want a shot at the tag titles, go grab a partner and we'll give you a shot at the tag titles at Raw. Or we'll give you a shot at the tag titles at NXT, right? Because it's like truly, if these people are supposed to be champions of champions, they should be defended on every show. Kind of like they did in the territory days, right? That they would travel up and down the East Coast to Texas, out west, every house show, every small arena, every cowboy arena, if there was a squared ring in that arena, you know, they defended the title. I think I think if WWE got back to that, I think it would help the viewership because I think that would be cool. Um Obviously, you know, it's all up to Endeavor now. So Endeavor might actually treat this as a real draft and start charging that everybody $300 tickets just to um show up at the draft, but it is what it is right now. So it'll be interesting. Um, do you have high hopes for Trek on the main roster?
Um, yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, obviously, it's always so dependent on what they do with these wrestlers, but if they give him the opportunities, I don't see how he doesn't cash in on that.
Do you think he cashes in on an opportunity before Oba does, or do you think Oba cashes in an opportunity first?
I tend to think they both will. I think they'll split them. I just feel like Oba will end up on Raw, and Trick's obviously going to be on SmackDown. So I think they both will be able to. If they put them on the same show,
It's gonna be
oh
weird.
man, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna
tough.
be weird. Um, I'm wondering if for the first year, 2, 3 years of Oba's promotion up to the big leagues, do they treat him like they treated Braun Strowman for a while? Like an attraction, like a fairground attraction. Come see this beast that we have in a cage. He runs through everybody. Kind of like what they did with the Great Khali, too, right? They just love to throw the Great Khali out there in some random squash match where they would just squeeze the guy's head and then the guy quits, right? Like, it's kind of. That's my fear with Oba. I don't think Hunter will do that. But also, there's been that report that we talked about on the last podcast episode that Vince has been back there a bit. So if you're telling me Vince is back there and Vince is going to get a shot to write for Oba, I could definitely see Vince treated Oba like he's some type of circus freak attraction instead of what he truly is.
Right.
I'm I I think Trick's the complete package now. Like if you wanted to throw Trick into a show versus Drew now, Drew's out there cutting a promo how he's no longer bad at work, bored at work, that he's back on top where he belongs. He's carried this company, and he finally has the title. And then all of a sudden, you hear Trick come out with his music and cut off Drew. I think a house show between Drew and Trick would be electric. Because Trick moves like he's a cruiserweight, but if Drew catches Trick, Drew's going to be able to give Trick a pounding like he's never had before on the NXT level. And the matches between Oba and Trick were very physical, but it's, you know, there's a difference between NXT physicality and stepping in there with somebody like Drew or Sheamus, right? Like, it's a drastic difference. Because when these guys hit you, it looks real and it's going to feel real. Compared to, like, on NXT, you could see them kind of coming across more deliberate so they don't actually, catch you with the fist. I think Trick's the full package. Like I said, I think you could put Trick out there anywhere against anyone for a title right now and he would be fine. I think I'm wondering if you're going to have to put Oba with somebody to be his mouthpiece. He didn't have it in NXT, but he very rarely cut a promo. But if he's going to be a mainstay on Raw, you're going to have to hear from him quite a bit, right? There's going to have to be back and forth. Because what are we getting now? We're only getting, 3 to 5 matches in a 2.5 hour segment? Roughly, right? Depending on how promo heavy it is.
Yeah. That's probably right.
Right? Like, so they're not getting past 5 unless they're going to bring it back to 3 hours like they did on SmackDown. I mean, even on SmackDown on January 9th, they had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including the 3 stages of hell. So the 6th match was kind of like a special go home card match, right? Like, you're not going to get that every 3 hours. But so yeah, I'm pumped that they got called up. I thought Trick should have got called up months ago, but I understand why they're doing it right now, just to slowly build for the Rumble, because obviously Trick's going to be in the qualifying matches, right?
100%.
Right. So he's going to get in. So there's no doubt about that. I mean, so it's like, yeah, I mean, oh, and Javon Evans, that was the other name. Javon Evans is up now, throwing himself all over the ring and out of the ring. I have concerns because I'm wondering if we're going to see a change in Javon's style, because NXT was more of an attraction promotion. Like, when they went to their small arenas, like, people knew Javon Evans from him being able to jump over anything. And there are very few people on the main roster, which he's on Raw as of right now, or as of last night, that I think that works with, right? Like, it works with Penta when Penta's healthy. It works with Ray Phoenix. It works with Dragon Lee. He can work AJ Styles if need be. It works with a couple of the members of Bravo Americano. I mean, other than that, like, don't forget, like, JD was in there with somebody that was a bruiser, and he punctured a lung and broke 2 discs in his back, flying out of the ring, and the guy didn't catch him, and he went into the commentator booth. So, like, I wonder if they're going to kind of take the edge off of Javon's style a bit. You know what I mean? Of just kind of saying, hey, that's all cool, you could do that stuff, but, like, let's do it in moderation type thing. I I guess so. Getting back to SmackDown on January 9th, I think that's a good spot to begin. What did you think about the face to face between Brandy and Trick?
I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was good to give a little bit of a little bit of a rub there, right?
Yep.
They're obviously going to position him a certain way, so it's always great to kind of have a little tease, have a little whatever.
Um, when's the last time you saw somebody stand in the ring with Randy and Randy didn't look huge? Because Trick's just as big, right?
Sure
Like,
is.
like it was weird. It was almost like, oh, you are grown in a lab somewhere, Trick. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember the last person that stepped into the ring with Randy and you thought, oh, maybe this guy's bigger than Randy a bit. What would it be, Batista? When the whole evolution thing?
Probably.
I mean,
Trying to think, but probably.
Orton's always been bigger than Taker. Taker's just looked more, I don't know how to put, like, stacked based on like him wearing the jeans or the leather slacks and the wrestling gi. So like he's always looked like big. I mean, Randy's always had the height over Brock. Brock's been bigger, but Randy's always had the reach on Brock. So it's like can't really say Brock's technically bigger. It's just wild to see, man. But I thought but I thought like you said, it was a good rub. It was good to see Trick like not be afraid to go back at Randy on the mic because sometimes when we've seen it in the past, right? Even when John Cena came out and did his first promo to Kurt Angle, he kind of slipped when he announced who he is, right? So it's like you could see Trick wasn't
Yeah.
shy. Trick was like ready for that moment, which was cool. I appreciate that. Um, think that's gonna work. Uh, overall, I liked Trick versus Ray Phoenix. I don't know your thoughts. Um, they did a good job of telling a story of like Phoenix's speed and the way he's able to bounce around in the ring being a little bit tough for Trick to handle, but obviously Trick ultimately got the pin by a handful of tights. So, the way he spoke to Randy and then him having to wrestle Phoenix and winning by the handful of tights, it's seemingly looking like they're going to make Trick a heel then, would you say? If that's how he took his first win? Unless something drastic happens, right? They're probably going to have Trick be a bad guy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right,
I
like,
mean, yeah, the way you started them.
yeah. Um, and then we also had the U.S. champion, Julia, defeating Alexa Bliss. Um, this may be a hot take from our podcast or from me in general. I don't need to see Alexa Bliss going after individual titles anymore. Like, I think she's just better in the tag environment. And I just, you know, I. You could just see the difference, like, in just the way they move between Julia and Bliss. I'm not saying that Bliss is terrible now in the ring, but it's just like I would have had her work up to this title match rather than just, hey, I'm Alexa Bliss, so I get a title match. Do you know what I mean? Like I would like have her put on a couple of good storytelling matches. Like one match she takes a beating, she still wins. Another match she comes out, she destroys. Like third match she finds a way to win and blah blah blah. I know that Lash and Nia got involved in this match, so that did affect the outcome. But overall, it's like I don't need Alexa Bliss picking up an individual title anytime soon. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can see what you're saying, but I don't know. I think if they, I don't know, maybe if she got a little more into it and whatever, I think I could see her back in the singles for sure.
can, can it? Can I tell you when it drastically changed for
Yeah.
me regarding Alexa Bliss? When whoever was in the writing room thought it was a good idea to put her out there in a one-on-one match against Lash Legend. It looked like Lash Legend was wrestling a wrestling buddy that I had back in the day. It's like it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it just like whoever wrote that match did Alexa no favors. And I know they were setting it up the whole Charlotte and Alexa versus Nia and Lash. But at some point there has to be an ounce of believability into what they're writing down for this, right? Like if not, it's going to turn into Tony Khan fantasy booking everything here. So like, you know, we also had the MFTs, the dumbest faction name ever, defeating the Wyatt Six, and then the MFTs took the Lantern. Um, I hey, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna go on a run of hot takes tonight, Dan. I think WWE Hunter Creative killed the Wyatt Six after they put them in back to back promos and matches with the MFTs. Because I think the MFTs killed any hotness that the Wyatts had going on. Because we've seen crowds be as soon as it goes dark, everybody throws on their cell phone light because they know it's either one or two things: a big entrance from somebody that they're not expecting, or it's the Wyatts. That hasn't died down. That hasn't died down since Bray passed. They've been
Right.
a fan favorite. Top five merchandise purchased at every show is part of their merchandise sales. I think Solo and the MFTs killed this. Just like Solo did himself no favors the way he stepped away from the bloodline and started this new character of his. Right? Like
Yeah.
we'll we'll probably talk about Solo a little bit further on, but and then we had Jordan Grace defeating Alba Fire, obviously. I mean, there has to be a believability, and Jordan Grace is a bowling ball, so she should have beat Alba Fire. And then she comes face to face with Jade Cargill. And I don't think Jade Cargill has defended the title yet. And you're going to put her in there with Jordan Grace?
I don't think so. Yeah.
I would have her drop the title. What has she done to keep it? The crowd doesn't care that she has it. She shows up,
Right.
she cuts a promo, she calls somebody a bitch, she says, "You're not on my level." She walks away. Like it's like if this is supposed to be her at like a heel type repertoire of like she shows up, talks shit, doesn't get involved, leaves and keeps the title. She can't even do that right. Because you at least have to get physical. She hasn't even been getting physical. Jordan Grace stood there the whole entire time while Jade talked shit to her just like this. Like Jade had the perfect opportunity to just smack Jordan in the face. And then the crowd went like, "Oh, it's going to pop off here." You know what I'm saying? But like you're going to put her in with somebody that's been working house shows nonstop since she joined WWE, had the knockout title at TNA to the point the fans were crying she was leaving. So then Jordan wins the Rumble and challenges Jade. Then I'm putting the title on Jordan hands down. And it's not even a debate at this point. Like Jade has to show something, or just put that title up as vacant at this point. Like nobody cares how toned Jade looks if she's not defending the title in the ring. You know what I mean? Like it just I don't know how you feel about it. I was just expecting when them to put Jade with the title, Jade would be defending the title because she's supposed. What have they called her in the WWE? I think they've called her once the greatest attraction, the greatest female attraction that WWE has ever had, or the greatest female specimen that WWE has ever had. She hasn't done anything. Stu, the camera guy, has got more physical in John Cena's last run than Jade has in the past 6 months. It just
Yeah, it's dumb. It's a waste, is what it is.
yeah, it just it's just a waste of her character because I think she can perform. We've seen it when she was at AEW, but it's like we're not going to showcase that now. Okay, that makes complete sense, I guess. You know what I mean? Um, on a positive note, I am so happy to see Carmelo with the United States Championship.
Yeah.
He's so good, man. He is so good. And I think we're gonna get Trick versus Mello very soon again. Because that was so popular in NXT that if Carmelo keeps running through these competitors, like why not just run it back on the big roster? Do you know what I'm saying? The fans will love it. And
Yeah.
just think if you end a SmackDown show with them, so what, you're giving them 30 to 45 compared to like 15 to 20 that they got on an NXT show? They would bring down the house. That's how you fix SmackDown. You occasionally have that US title with Carmelo being the thing that sends the viewers home every Friday. It just makes sense. And to be honest, were you expecting Shinsuke to come back? I was not expecting that.
Nope, not at all.
I mean, the last we heard, he was kind of unhappy with what was going on previously. And then he was stepping away for a bit, thinking about retirement. But he comes back and he looks just as good as when he was in here in his prime. So, interesting stuff. And the main event. Oh, and Carmelo defended, hitting the first 48 to take the title or to defend the title. The way you should defend a title. If Jade, if you're paying attention to this, please defend the title. And then the big main event that everybody was talking about for the past couple of weeks, for the past month or so. Drew versus Cody in the 3 stages of Hell match to win the WWE Undisputed Championship. Dan, floor is yours, sir. What are your thoughts?
It was a surprise. Obviously, I didn't expect that. I don't know what they're doing there. Um, I don't know if there's like what the reasonings behind it, other than the fact that he was home. Like, it just didn't. It didn't make a ton of sense, but you know, I guess this is what happens. You never know what the heck they're gonna do, so you got to pay attention.
How did you feel about the 3 stages that have been chosen?
Well, I thought that was a little. Originally, I thought it was a little lackluster. right? Like what were these choices? Like, first of all, one of them being like just a straight wrestling match. Like, what the hell's the point of the stipulation?
Right.
Like, why not just do 2 out of 3 falls then? You
Right.
know.
And then the second
So
stage being a falls count anywhere.
right,
Fine.
which is
That's better, I
great.
guess, but like,
Well, yeah, but like, in theory, still somewhat like a straight wrestling match, just so that it doesn't have to be in the ring.
yeah.
But like, in theory, you can still get disqualified, right? Like, I don't know, that one's weird too. And then yeah, okay, so you do a cage, but that's fine. But since your first two were kind of shitty, like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah. Agreed. And I feel like that's been a big thing on all the other podcasts and on Busted Open and stuff as well. It's like, what the hell's happening with this? What would you have picked for these three?
I think a cage would have been fine to keep that way. Um,
Would you would you have done the cage starting off or kept it at the final stage?
I guess it depends on what you're picking, but I think the cage made sense for the finish to keep it in the idea of keeping it in the ring. Um, so I guess you could have done like a no DQ type fall, which would have allowed you to have your false count anywhere, you're this, you're that, like, or no holds barred or whatever, right? Type deal. And then after that, I don't know, like, you could have done something. You could have done something just kind of out there, I think, to just generate a little more interest. Whether you do something um, like even like something as out there as like a strap match, or um, I don't think I do like you wouldn't do Hell in the Cell or anything like that, but like strap match, or maybe you do like a weird stipulation that it hurts for Cody, maybe, right? Like a Cody can't use his finisher type deal, or right, like something like just kind of weird like that. Like, I think you're working within some constraints, being that it's a SmackDown and not a pay-per-view, um, or PLE. But yeah, I think you just do something different than a straight match. I mean, you know, a no holds barred or a false count anywhere, I guess, is fine. But then I wouldn't have done a straight match because those are essentially straight matches. I think I would have moved to like whether it's like a hardcore match or a backstage or street fight, or like something like a strap match or like an old stipulation like that, that they used to do.
I was thinking the bull strap match. I mean, we had Cody with the strap match before with Brock, right? Or Cody did a strap match with somebody, right?
Um,
Or am I thinking of the other promotion?
WWE,
Oh, sorry, that was with QT Marshall. Okay.
yeah, AEW. I know they did that. They can't remember if they did a strap match in. Well, they do like oh, he did a bull rope match with Shinsuke
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Fighting
yeah.
Glorious, which is similar.
So I think I would have started out with TLC.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I would have started out with TLC. I would have did falls count anywhere the best out of three. Like a combined thing of like whoever gets the 2 pins first wins. But it can be anywhere in the arena. And there's no disqualification for it. So anything goes. And then I would have brought back the Hell in the Cell from Cody versus Seth. I would have did Hell in a Cell for it being the first 3 hour SmackDown. Because then you kind of give Cody the background of like, oh, remember the last time Cody was Hell in a Cell? He had his bicep torn, and Seth took a sledgehammer and pushed on his torn bicep, and you saw the blood move down his bicep because it was torn from the bone. Do you know what I'm saying? It would have added that like certain gravitas of like a background of like remember Cody the last time in the Hell in a Cell match, and it just would have felt bigger than being a SmackDown show. I guess to me, that's how I think I would have did it. Just get violent right from the get go, and just let them continue to be violent. Right? I mean, we've already seen Cody show up at Drew's house, getting tackled by private security. Now we're supposed to believe that these guys respect each other enough to do a regular wrestling match when you know Cody has the amateur wrestling background, so he should win that one easily. Like Drew's a bruiser, but like Cody's the actual wrestler. So it's like story wise, I thought they could have made it intense, more intense to give them um like more of like a here's a green light, go do what you want to do type thing, I guess. You know. But we had a return that we didn't get to talk about. Um Jacob Fatu back from the dental surgery. Did you see how that crowd popped when he attacked Cody? Not just when he showed up, but when he attacked Cody. Do you think we're getting a triple threat? Because let's be honest, if they bring Jacob back this way to attack Drew and that's how Drew wins, and they don't input Jacob into the storyline somehow, what are we doing? You should have just saved Jacob for the Rumble and just let him run through people. Do you know what I mean? Like, would you put him in this story right now? And
I think he's already in it.
For now, but then if we get to this SmackDown on Friday and they only like mention Jacob, but there's promos back and forth between Drew and Cody, or they're shit talking back and forth, and it's just Drew and Cody. Is he technically still in this, or was he just, a tool that they used on that first 3 hour SmackDown? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it's like, I would have Cody take another loss from Jacob, because I think that legitimizes Jacob going after Drew. Right? Because Jacob's already told Cody in the past, I'm coming for that belt. I just want you to know. I think after he beat Roman for the belt, Jacob told him that backstage. That he wanted a shot at the belt. So it's like,
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I would have Cody take another loss to Jacob. But here's the thing too that I think AEW does wrong as well. Now that Drew has the title, Drew's going to be on SmackDown this Friday, obviously. Do you have Cody show up? I wouldn't have Cody show up. Not right away. Not because I feel like it does something to the person that won the title. It's kind of like when Mox and Hangman went through that battle. Hangman beats Mox for the title, and then Mox is starting Dynamite the next Wednesday. It's like, what are we doing? He just got beat. Where's the champion? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you have
Yeah, I do.
Cody stay home for a couple weeks?
I think so. I mean, if you had him lose, I can't imagine you just have him come right out. I think he's got to be gone for a little bit.
Would you keep him home until the Rumble?
Yes.
Yes, I would
I mean,
too.
that's only a few weeks.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
but I would do it. I would do it. Side note, did you see they're still just building that stadium? Like
Yeah.
it's still in construction?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the craziest video that like it has to be done by the end of the month, right? Like it has to be done ready to go by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Um But yeah, interesting stuff. Congrats to Drew. Obviously, he deserved it. Nobody saw this coming. Him winning the title in the first 3 hour SmackDown. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there. Let's jump to Raw then. So yeah, so like I said, this past Raw, right? It started at 2 p.m. in Germany. How many matches do you recall them having, Dan?
Uh, oh, that's a good question. Um, was it only 4?
Yep,
Yeah.
4 matches in
Okay.
like the 2.5 hour, 2 hours and 20 minutes. We had Javon Evans versus Bravo Americano, which, another side note, did you see the video of Chad Gable working out? It is insane how jacked he is right now. Insane. He's ready to go. Um, there was Livin Roxanne versus the Kabuki Warriors and Bailey and Lyra to become the number one contenders. Livin Roxanne won. Javon Evans defeated Bravo and Barricano. Then we had Penta and Dragon Lee, which I don't know why we're not getting Ray Phoenix with Penta yet, but okay. Penta and Dragon Lee defeat the Vision via disqualification after we watch Braun Breaker murder another human with a spear. That was the filthiest spear you will ever see. You could see when 2 to 4 ribs that Dragon Lee had ended up cracked by the way that Braun hit him. Full speed down that ramp.
Right.
And then you had Gunther defeating AJ. Gunther actually tapped out. And AJ still looks like he has another 2 to 3 years left if he wants to, man. Like, he still looks good. You know what I mean? Like, you saw some hiccups in Cena's last run of like certain things being a little bit slow, or the way he just kind of came in on a punch. It didn't look like the way he used to do it. There are no complaints about anything AJ does in the ring. I legitimately think you have to put him on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling when all said and done. He does everything. He does promos. He wrestled everywhere. TNA, New Japan, WWE, Ring of Honor. He's held the big belt at WWE for a period of time. Got screwed and had to drop it at Madison Square Garden. I forget the year. I mean, what, like, he's done everything, and he still looks so good at this age. Um, so there's a couple things I wanted to bring up. What did you think about Finn going after the world heavyweight title?
I, I mean, I thought it was fine. I think it's good. The cynical part of me has this like one like thought and question, and that is, it's like, is WWE doing a little bit of like taking a page out of AEW's book because they've been booking a lot of like never before seen matchups, like first time ever between these two type things. And they're not marketing it the same way AEW does, right? Like AEW loves the fantasy booking angle,
Yeah, that's
right?
Tony. Yep.
But like there's no story with Finn other than, you know, he walked out and he said a few things and like he did that promo the week prior, but like there's really no real story, but like they're going to build on, I'm sure, that these two have never faced each other. And so I sit there and like that was one of my thoughts when I was watching that was a little bit of like, are they doing this because like there's nothing to this and now a week later he has a match. Like where did that come from? You know? So that's one thing I thought. Otherwise, like I don't have a problem with it either. Like I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just think it's kind of funny that they're following a little bit of a, you know, deal like this.
Did you see the sign when Punk came out and did the clobbering time thing, or when he walked down um, the ramp? There was a sign that said Punk versus Jeff Hardy one more time, the final match. I thought that was funny that that was being called out for. Um, do you think they give it to him? Do they give it to Finn?
No, no. I suppose I could be wrong, but no.
You think Punk takes it to Rumble and then gets beat there?
I think he takes it past Rumble. I don't know if he takes it to WrestleMania, but I think that's possible.
So I have this weird suspicion. I think I sent you the thing today. How when Paul was talking to Adam Pearce, when Adam Pearce suspended Braun, Paul reminded Pearce, "You put your hands on him first."
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is this gonna kind of be like a blackmail leverage thing of where Paul keeps reminding Pearce, "You don't want me to take this to your boss or your boss's boss, right? So here's what we want." And then does Braun get his title shot again at Rumble? Right.
Maybe. Yeah.
I do think they're leading. If not Rumble, I do think Punk keeps it to Mania, and we get Braun versus Punk at Mania again. Ideally, if Finn has to go to that dark side now that he's going to be back in Ireland next week, I want the Demon back. I want it all back.
Well,
Bring back the Demon. That's where Finn had to go to in the past to win the NXT title, to win all of his other titles when he had that gimmick. He had to go back to being the Demon. Bring it back for this Punk match. And if
yeah.
I'm
Well, it's like, what have you been teasing it for so long, right?
yeah, I mean they put out that puppet, the what do they call it, D Minto or whatever, to go against the guy with the lizard puppet. So
Yeah.
Mr. Iguana.
Yeah.
But the psychology aspect of it, if I'm Punk, I come out in trunks that mimic the fiend, the Finn Bálor demon. I come out in that color array, the red and black, the same type of design on the tights, on on the armband and everything. Like I make him feel like he has to be that demon to beat me. You know what I mean? How like Punk's been doing that for like SummerSlam, he came out in the Fantastic Four gear.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like that type of stuff of just edging it to it. Because Braun murdered Dragon Lee on Raw, he's technically suspended indefinitely. What do you think Paul does with this?
Well, I've been trying to wonder what the hell they're doing too, because like they're also like for a while now have been like getting / allowing Adam Pierce to be like more involved too. Like I'm sitting there going like I don't think they're bringing him like out like to do anything, but they are like constantly like teasing this idea like he's getting a little physical, like so I'm trying to figure out what they're doing there.
Um, do we get Braun versus Pierce?
Oh, I don't think so, but I guess I really don't know.
He still looks like he could go. He's still in. Do you know what I mean? Like he's still in shape. Like he's still jacked. He can still handle it. Um, I was thinking about this today. So if Paul does use this opportunity to like blackmail Pierce, does Pierce screw Braun up by getting involved in his next match versus Punk then? Like, does Pierce come out and do something, and then all of a sudden that sets up a little bit delay of Braun getting the title, and we get Braun versus Pierce? How would you feel about that?
I mean, I don't necessarily know that I want to see it, but to be honest, I've never seen Pierce do anything. Like I can't think back to any time I've seen him, so you know.
Right.
And
Um.
like it doesn't go anywhere for me, which is part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I don't think it has to go anywhere. I still think it could like add something special to the whole Punk thing. Um. So supposedly, do you want to take a guess at what his last actual wrestling match was?
I wouldn't even know where to start with that.
Um. Well, his opponent is a fan favorite of yours, or you're a fan favorite of his. I should say. Suppo-
Hogan.
um. So he supposedly hasn't. I get two reference points here of him not being able. He hasn't wrestled since 2014, but then I also get that his last actual wrestling match, 2012, opponent Colt Cabana, the final match of their 7 Levels of Hate series in Melbourne, Australia. And this is where Pierce dropped the NWA Championship and walked away from the title, ending his wrestling career before taking on management roles. Low key, has Colt Cabana had a sneaky MVP wrestling career? And people just shit on him, right?
Yeah, he might have.
Because, like, he came up in another one of our trivia things of, like, you know what I'm saying? God damn, man. Colt Cabana. He doesn't have his own bank account, but man, oh man. Like, he has a sneaky good career. Yeah. sneaky good, man. Jesus. Yeah, so I mean, it's tough to tell, right? Like I love the intensity that Pierce brought to the whole Braun being suspended indefinitely thing. I feel like something that they tried to do that in the past, and the intensity doesn't match what they're like actually meant to do. I guess if I'm WWE, I would have Paul Heyman on Twitter right now presenting evidence of why Pierce was in the wrong and Braun's not. I would have Paul just kind of build this all week. Or like have Paul show up on like that Sam Roberts like after show podcast thing that he does with Kathy Kelly. Have Paul hit as many like WWE publications that he can, and just have Paul explain. Listen, the Vision's not in trouble for anything. We were antagonized by Adam Pearce over the last couple of months based on these 12 things. Do you know what I mean? Like straight up do it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, great 2 weeks of wrestling, I would say. Um, big. Well, first off, Raw for January 5th scores 3.2 million global views on Netflix. Obviously, it's been pushed out of the top 10 because of Stranger Things being on the final season. So that's been getting everybody's views. And they've also had a lot of Barstool stuff added. They also added the Bill Simmons podcast. So there's a few sports programs that are going to start kicking Raw off, I think, as well. But while we've been away from podcasting, it did come out that Netflix is going to be the home for all things WWE, it appears now, huh? Including the everything in the library, which we thought somebody was going to buy separately. But
Yeah, actually, when I went on to Netflix today, the first thing at the top of the page was a Royal Rumble thing, and it said watch all of them now or something.
Yeah.
Netflix app.
Yeah, so that's interesting because I thought I was wondering because for anyone that has that ESPN Unlimited app, you know how like you could go to the 30 for 30s? I was wondering if they were going to do a section for WWE and WWE could just put everything up there. Yeah. So I haven't followed much AEW stuff. Have you? I've been trying to catch up, but I was sick or still kind of sick from 3 weeks ago, so I haven't watched any of it. But
I mean, I know MJF's the champion again, so I think that's good, but I have not watched much of it.
Yeah, so I got to tune in though for sure, just to follow along now that our boy MJF is back. But also quite a big goddamn Thursday night, Dan, the 15th. You know why? I think it's the 15th.
Thursday?
Yeah. 8 p.m. TNA kicks off on AMC.
Oh, right. It is this week.
Yeah. They go live this week. First ever. And, mind you, they've already said that AJ Styles is going to be back for it. And our favorite,
yes.
Bully Ray, is going to be commenting for this Thursday night. As he said, he received a very important phone call yesterday and was very happy about it. Talk about it on Busted Open. Yeah. So it's going to be on from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on AMC and AMC Plus in the U.S. 2-hour block starting off. Pretty cool. Thursday Night Impact from Dallas, Texas. They mentioned the roster includes Jeff and Matt Hardy, Nick Nemeth, Frankie Kazarian, Mike Santana, Leon Slater, Moose, Mustafa Ali, Lee Ying, Lee Tessa Blanchard, of course, and Ash by Elegance. And AJ Styles will be showing up as well. Do you think we see AJ finish out a couple matches over here now as well?
Yeah, probably. I think so.
Do you think he takes the title?
No.
I think they put a title on him. I don't think he keeps it to the end, but I think he comes back and he gets a title.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. Like he is the face of it, right? Like when they were at their worst, he was the guy doing the Turrican Ranas from the top of the Pentagon cage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was the guy. As John said, he's the face that runs the place, the total nonstop action. Which, for anybody that haven't heard AJ on the Undertaker podcast, go and listen to that. Because AJ talks about how much trouble that John got in because he did that. Which I kind of don't believe because it's John. But even if John got into trouble, I don't think John probably gave a shit. So,
No, I don't think he did either.
no, what are you gonna do? Fire me? I'm on my way out. Like, so that's huge too because now this is another promotion that people are gonna have to battle with, right? Like, it's crazy, man. It definitely feels. Um, um, it definitely feels like if TNA starts strong, is that bad for AEW? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's bad for them, but it's just another deal for them to worry about.
yeah. So unfortunately, I don't get AMC with the Hulu Live, so I might have to resubscribe to the TNA app for a bit, um, just to go from there. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that they're bringing back Bully Ray. He's gonna be a special guest commentator for the main event. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
That's awesome, man. It's like way to go. But yeah, so that's been it for about the last 2 weeks of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean it's minus like the recent like title change and stuff. It's been, I don't know, if boring's the right word, but it hasn't.
There's Raw was good yesterday. I think I would say Raw was good yesterday. I think the SmackDown 3 hours was definitely a change. The show felt fine, but then the main event kind of went lackluster. Just based on the stages picked. But
Yeah,
overall, I think it's been okay. Um, I guess next episode, are we gonna take guesses at what we think were happening at the Rumble, or you want to wait a couple weeks?
I think we can probably start that next. I mean, by next episode, we'll only be a week and a half out, right? When you think about it.
Yeah, because it's the 31st. Yeah, yeah. Which these videos of them still building this out of the ground are just insane to me. Just insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Well, anything else you want to touch on, Dan?
I think that's it.
All right, works for me. This will be up sometime tomorrow evening on the Instagram and our YouTube channel, Botch Wrestling Pod. Until then, we'll be back sometime next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, to talk about all things WWE and upcoming Royal Rumble. And I'm hoping to have a little bit more caught up on AEW with this being a holiday weekend. So until then, folks, adios. We'll watch wrestling. Please turn into TNA. It's going to be awesome this Thursday. AJ Styles, Bully Ray and everybody else on that roster can straight out go. So it's going to be great to have that back on live television. Until then, go. Adios, folks.